concept of systems analysis at the borders, what do we do about the borders problem, really stems from our national security missions, because when you think about nuclear smuggling, chem, bio, explosives, any of these sorts of things that we really care about here at the laboratory, borders is a battle space in which those things play. The Borders HLM project, it's Borders high-level model, and this was a project funded out of the Customs and Border Protection, what was then part of the SBI Net office. And what they were wanting was a modeling, simulation, and analysis solution, a toolkit to do systems engineering kind of work and systems analysis work on border security solutions. CBP is really the main line that's interested in this particular product, this particular instantiation of this kind of technology. And that's because they're really the ones charged with putting an infrastructure out there to combat border smuggling. So we saw an opportunity where we could take a force-on-force engagement modeling technology, Dante, and marry that to a serious gaming technology, Ground Truth, and come up with a way to have an engaging high-fidelity simulation and analysis tool that you'd be able to take out and use with people in the field, as well as with policymakers and decision makers and designers at the HQ level back in Washington. We're modeling a small section of it, but it's still 64 square miles of border that we're modeling. That's kind of on the edge of what's really doable at that scale in the resolutions we want to do it. So you have one tool now that's part of a bigger suite, but it's the first tool in that suite that's going to allow you to do both the engagement with the end user to get requirements and understand what the problems are, as well as the hardcore quantitative analysis that lets you know you solved the problem. As you bring together these different capabilities to make a tool, there's some really hard problems in terms of the infrastructure that it takes to get those things to play, and the compromises you have to make, and the system design of the tool itself. How do you get all these parts that weren't built to fit together and actually work? That's really the role that we played. That's the role that was significant. That's what we focused on. We didn't focus on flashy, and we didn't focus on, slick looking package or anything like that. We really focused on what are the hardcore issues, that science and technology issues that keep these tools from being successful. Let's solve those. The vision really does point towards a whole of border model, right? Now you can model things at the tactical level, but at some point you want to sort of scale that up and start saying, okay, at the sector level, how's the architecture performing? And how do I roll up from those tactical engagements in the model to more mesoscale, as they say, right? And then you could begin to see, with the right research done in the methodology, how you could get a whole of border model. And you could say, well, the US border system is operating at this level of efficiency. There is a rich history between looking at borders for systems analysis and tool development to facilitate systems analysis in a quantitative way at SANDIA that this is just the latest chapter in.